O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moodias Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moodias Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodias.dental. Moodias Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
All righty. Wait a minute. Okay. Yep, the mic is on. I got to make sure we've got confirmation of liftoff here. Welcome aboard. It is a beautiful Monday. We are back from Jacksonville. So give me the thumbs up that the audio is good, because Sean is not with me. I'm riding solo today. Okay, good. By the way, Sean Stanley is celebrating his anniversary today. All right. So tomorrow when we're on the show, make sure you congratulate his ass. All right. 13 years the man is celebrating today with the wife. So congratulations to Sean Stanley. He and his lovely wife. Look at that. 13 years, dude. Huh? How about that? So here's to 400 more. Because, you know, they'll figure out how to live forever, and then they can be together for 413 years. So that's the way I'm going about it. All right. So let's hope that's what happens, and we figure out a way to live a little longer, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, welcome aboard. It is a Monday, February 2nd, 2026. It is day number 19,009 since the Miami Dolphins won the Super Bowl. It is day number 8,792 since the Miami Hurricanes were national champions. So welcome aboard. We got some stuff to talk about. This is not going to be a really long show, obviously. I drove a lot today and did a lot. Came home to then go return the car down by the airport, then come back. And so, you know, just popped in the shower now and wanted to start to do a little show for you guys. And so we are here. We had a great weekend, by the way. Got to meet Ho Yoon, the famous Ho Yoon here on the show, and he super cool guy. Had a great time hanging out with him. So it was great it's great to put a face to, you know, the people that are, you know, very supportive of the show. We hung out and stayed over with Ocala Joe and his wife Lourdes. who are obviously beautiful human beings, and their lovely dog Max, who is just a gem, But then again, I mean, golden retrievers are what they are. They are, they are angels as it is. But I had a great time hanging out with Ocala Joe and Lourdes. We went to the John Waite concert at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall. Did put up a couple of videos if you follow me on Instagram or on Twitter, and I think it's on Threads or something, and maybe one of the Facebook pages or something like that. So if you like John Waite, we were like in the fourth row. So actually the video is really, really close. So you can actually enjoy it and check it out. I'm not going to play it here because, of course, YouTube tags us for every single thing out there. So we're not going to do that. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Thank you all out there for just, your amazing dedication. This is a late show that just comes about, and you guys are coming through for us, and we appreciate that immensely. As always, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can send in your questions and comments and insults and all kinds of good stuff there on the platform, and we always appreciate it. Bitcoin, by the way, had a nice bounce back after falling to 75, whatever, 75.5 or maybe even 75.2 at one point. Maybe 75.5 or something. It's up to 78.6 right now. Good day in the market today as it closes up 515 points. The S&P went up 37 points, and the Nasdaq was barely down. Not a big deal. Dow Jones is approaching 50,000. S&P is approaching 7,000. 7 stocks carrying the whole thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. But anyway, so all kinds of stuff. Had a good weekend. Can't complain. Had a beautiful weekend, actually. And visited some really nice restaurants. Ocala Joe and Lourdes took us to a couple of really cool spots there in Jacksonville that we don't have here. Food was freaking delicious. I think one's called the Island something. And I don't remember the places that I went to, but I remember that actually the food was pretty damn good. So that was actually good. So we had a good time, man. Had an excellent weekend, and kind of a slow day today. There's not like a lot of major freaking news that we can go crazy about or anything like that. But at least there's some stuff to talk about: Dolphins, Heat, all kinds of stuff. So we'll get into that. Don't do the happy anniversaries now, okay? Because he's not on. He's not going to see him. Do it tomorrow, all right? Tomorrow. So when you start tomorrow on the show, those of you, of course, that know, and then you'll trigger other people to do it tomorrow. So that's good. You know what I'm saying? So it's good for 13 years it's a hell of an accomplishment for them. So that's pretty good. I always laugh when people are married, like the first couple of years. It's like, you're playing house, dude. Talk to me after 10, and then we know where you're at, 15, 20, 25, then we know where you're at, overall. First couple of years, you're like playing house. By the way, I got to tell you something. I am super happy that the Marlins are not something that I worry about, because they have some issues with their broadcast and where they're going to be at, and if you want to buy or where you're going to watch them at and all that. It's so convoluted nowadays. It was so easy when it was just a channel and go to the channel and that's it. Now it's all these apps and everything else, and it confuses a lot of people and all that. I am glad that I don't give 3 flying Fs about the Marlins. Okay? You want me to watch the Marlins? If they make the playoffs, then, then I can mention them on the updates. I can then, watch it or something. I'll make an effort. Once it's in the playoffs, it'll be on a regular channel, and I don't have to go, funneling around. But they'll never make the playoffs probably. So, whatever. I know what they're trying to do with the rig system that they have. But I just kind of laugh because the Marlins, to me, are so useless and so pathetic, you know? So I see all this stuff going on. And since your product sucks, also, you're not going to have people lined up dying to broadcast you because it's impossible to sell you too at the same time. Like, if you're a sponsor, do you really want to tie yourself to the Marlins? No, dude. The Marlins don't bring you anything. They don't have enough people. Not enough people even give a shit about them. You know, so I'm watching all this stuff and articles being written. I see people posting stuff. You know, I would imagine, I don't know if they were talking about it on radio and whatever, but yeah, I'm glad that I don't give three flying Fs about the Marlins and where they're going to be broadcasting. So that's one franchise that I've just kind of like, get out of here. You know, I'm not in for your scam, because that's what the Marlins are. It's all about a scam pretty much with the damn Marlins. Anyway, so a bunch of stuff to talk about on the program. By the way, anybody watch the Grammys yesterday? I did watch some of it. We were hanging out. What is it? Is it Chappelle Rome or Chapel Rome? I forgot which one it is. Is that fashion? Just say it. Was that fashion? I'm just wondering there. I was the Ozzy Osbourne tribute was very good with Slash and Chad Smith, and Post Malone does a nice job with Ozzy. And you saw the Osbournes in the front with their skeleton look, and they were kind of they were emotional the entire time. So that was really cool to watch. Although it's just watching the Osbournes, how they're shrinking, and I don't know, it's that, apparently that Ozempic sucks the muscles out of your face, and a lot of the Ozempic people have like these bony like faces because they lose fat and they lose muscle. And so they're like very strange the way they look now at this point. Kind of felt bad actually in the whole thing because they've gone through a lot, obviously. But that was really nice. The Ozzy tribute was really, really good. By the way, is she now Lauren Mountain, not a hill? I'm just saying. I mean, hills are pretty small. I didn't see a hill last night there on stage. That Lauren Mountain was there, and not sounding, wow, it's what a waste. I got to tell you. And then you see everybody else, and you see John Lennon, John Legend, and everybody else, and you're like, yeah, this is real talent here, all the other people. And you kind of feel like Lauryn Hill kind of wasted. She came up with one great album and never did anything else again. And it's kind of lived off of whatever she did with the Fugees and the one album. And she never really had the go get to, like, you just like, and I see her there and it's like, damn, you could have been a lot more because you had the skill set to be it. But anyway, Lauren Mountain, a hell of a performance by her yesterday, not overall. You know who had a hell of a performance? Or you know who's had like one of the best weeks in America? Tiana Taylor. Because last week she was on Saturday Night Live and she actually had a couple good skits. The grandpa one that she played, the grandpa, that shit was funny. So she had a couple of actually really good skits there. And then last night she wore that dress that she showed off her abs. And you're like, holy crap, man. Like, see, when you look at Chappelle or Chapel Rome, I'm not exactly sure what it is. That's not fashion, that's, kind of weird getup or whatever it was. But Tiana, man, now you got to have the body to rock that thing. And she had the body and she was able to rock that thing, dude. And she's good. She was good. She's good. She's got a good personality, overall. She's likable too, on top of all of that. But man, you know who's married to Tiana Taylor, by the way, for those of you out there? Iman Shumpert, the former New York Knick, flat top basketball player, all that. That is Tiana Taylor's husband. For those of you that may not know, some of you may not even know who Tiana Taylor is. Some of you may have found out about her last night at the Grammys. You're like, oh shit, who's that? Or you saw her on SNL, or you know of her work or something. But maybe for you sports guys and gals out there, you may not know him, but you know him on Shumpert. So there you go. Shumpert is the husband of Tiana Taylor. So that's some of the stuff that went on yesterday at the Grammys. I did not see some of the other stuff that made headlines, the Bad Bunny stuff. I didn't. Well, no, actually, I did see when they interviewed him and they tried to make him sing or something like that with Trevor Noah. Although I think Trevor Noah now, Trump wants to sue him because Trevor made a joke of him being on Epstein Island, and obviously the little orange sensitive bitch. He can't. It's really interesting how weak of a society a lot of you are part of, to be quite honest, because I've grown up where we made fun of Nixon. I'm not a crook. We made fun of Jimmy Carter and his deadbeat self and peanut farmer and drunk brother and all that kind of crap. And we made fun of Reagan in that second term. And we made fun of George Bush Sr., no new taxes. And sure enough, we got new taxes. And, we made fun of George Bush Jr. because he said a lot of stupid shit. We made fun of Bill Clinton. I did not have sex with that woman, or I did not inhale, which, like, Bill Clinton is the only person in the world that grabbed the joint and didn't inhale the joint. He savored it like a cigar. Like, we've made fun of every president, Biden, everyone. This is the only guy that you make fun of, and he gets all turned up like a little bitch. And then his little bitch followers also get turned up too. Meanwhile, we've always killed every president. Every single one, we have just absolutely murdered them for all the stupid shit that they do. And this guy does a lot of stupid shit. So, it's plenty of material. It's just, Donna Rice took down that guy, I forgot his name now, that was trying to run. I mean, this is what we do, dude. I remember that guy that was running, and we're going to go to Wisconsin, and we're going to go here. And then when we made that a whole thing, and he was done. And, it's kind of like, it's the weirdest thing that I have ever lived through in my almost 60 years on this earth. Like, we had like a sense of humor. We used to make fun of everything. People went along with it. It was kind of, whatever, it is what it. Gerald Ford used to fall every other press conference or something, and we were making fun of Gerald Ford. I mean, it's just like, I have memories of all this shit, dude. Johnny Carson and everybody else making fun of everybody. The one guy. So Trevor Noah makes a joke, and there he is. The little bitch gets all bent out of shape. It's really amazing, to be quite honest. It's the weakest dude I've ever seen in office. The weakest dude I've ever seen in office. Anyway, let's do this. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. A lot of news. The Dolphins and the Miami Heat. Terry Rozier now will get his $26.6 million salary that was in escrow. So that could be good for the Miami Heat if they try to trade that salary slot for a certain thing. For others, it'll be catastrophically stupid. Davis Webb gets elevated to offensive coordinator there in Denver. He was the passing coordinator. Miami Dolphins. Well, Anthony Weaver gets the Ravens defensive coordinator job, did not get the Arizona job. That went to another LeFleur. And so no compensation for the Dolphins because he did not get a head coaching job. In fact, no black candidate got a job out of the 10 jobs. A third of the league was available, not a black candidate. That's freaking amazing. Dolphins also kept linebacker coach Joe Barry. They named Nathaniel Hackett the quarterback's coach. Defensive line coach Austin Clark stays. Assistant defensive backs coach Deshaun Sheed stays here. Brock Olivo is added to the team as an assistant special teams coach. And your new defensive coordinator is Green Bay linebackers coach Sean Dugan, which was the guy that was kind of rumored the entire time that was going to take over, but we were just waiting for the whole facade of Arizona hiring or not hiring. Seattle, by the way, opens as a 4.5-point favorite so far for the Super Bowl on a Monday. The over and under is 45.5. Seattle's minus 230 on the money line. New England plus 190 on the money line. Heat last night, they beat the Bulls 134-91, so they won 2-1 in the play-in tourney against the Bulls. Palau Larson, Studley, bro, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block. I love this kid. You guys know it. Tomorrow they will take on the Hawks at the Kaseya Center at 7:30. The Hawks are 24-27. The Heat are 27-24. Yeah. Tonight, Panthers will be in action, taking on the Sabres at the Emirates Bank Arena. Got to remember all this stuff. Saturday at 2:00, University of Miami's back in action. They take on BC on the road. They're 17-5, 6-3 in the conference. BC 9-12, 2-6 in the conference. So very winnable game. Take care of business. Saturday, February 7th at Beyond Bankcard Field, the Fort Lauderdale United will host the Dallas Trinity. You can get your tickets at FTLUTD.com. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. What else do we have? I thought they were divorced. Oh, no, I don't think so. I think they're still together. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Somebody can correct me out there. I mean, it's not like I looked it up right away to find out. I know that they're together. Maybe they broke up. I don't know. That I can't answer. So somebody will have to look it up. I don't have Sean with me, and I don't have time to look up something like that. So it's not something that I'm going to do at the moment. By the way, man, it is cold here in Florida. Holy shit. Wow. Can't wait for the day I do move down to Panama. Man, I don't want to see any of these days ever again. It's this whole climate change shit. There's so much humidity in the air that you're going to have extreme heat and you're going to have extreme colds. And that's just kind of the way it goes, dude, So, wow, dude, it's cold here in Florida. And I know for you people up north, this wimp doesn't impress you, but I'm just telling you, I was freezing my ass off. Okay? Freezing my ass off. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, please. All right? And visit our friends at Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off there at Caneswear.com. All right? Make sure you reach out to our friends at Caneswear. Yes, I mentioned Gerald Ford. Dude, we've made fun of all of them, like over and over and over again. It's the weakest crap that goes on. It's just really sad, dude. Let's see what else. What do we got here on the chat board? Jeff in Long Island is number 1. NorCal in. DFD. Daniel Berry in. Stephen Harris, thank you. Brian Radke. John, let's see, John Santos. Good evening, Big O. I am here ready to watch and listen to the show from Publix Deli. I'm avoiding customers just to listen to your show. I'm a proud corporate time-stealing weasel. Love it. I love it. Alexis Palenzuela, Rosendo, Daddy Dean, Steven Gonzalez, Brian Radke, TJ Superman. What else? I see there. The J Bird is in. Yes. I am alone, but I can do a victory cigar for the Miami Heat. Damn right. Good victory cigar for the Miami Heat. Well deserved. Although I got to tell you, let me get into Heat Giannis. And for me, the Heat Giannis stuff it's ridiculous. And it's amazing that the Miami Heat will never learn. I've come to that realization. These are incredibly stubborn human beings. They refuse to actually suck so they can become great again. And let me tell you something that's the most disturbing part about the Miami Heat, about the Arisons and Riley right now, that I find super disturbing. These men are afraid to reset. No tienen cojones. There's no balls in the Miami Heat anymore. They want to take the little safe route and, oh, let's see if we could add a star so we could try to, look look half decent and all that, when you have no chance at winning shit. Because whatever you're going to end up trading, you're going to trade a bunch for Giannis, and you're not going to have enough around them. And last time I checked, Bam Adebayo is still not a star. Never has been, never will be. So if you're counting on two guys that aren't necessarily, one guy has to work hard and has to attack the rim like crazy. They both have to play around the rim. I'm just, this is just dumb. This is just hanging on to vanity, like us older people sometimes do. You see them, they do all the plastic surgery and they do all kinds of stuff to try to look younger and all that kind of stuff. Some of us, we just age gracefully and just take life as it comes. But then there's those others, the Osbournes, and you start just going to extremes. And you go to the extremes that the Miami Heat now look like half the women in Boca. And this is what's going on. And they keep having plastic surgery, and they keep having plastic surgery, and they keep having plastic surgery, and this is why they're fake. Interesting analogy, isn't it? And it's actually 100% accurate. So it's just like there's no substance to the Miami Heat anymore. The team that used to gobble up stars cannot acquire stars anymore to save their life. And now they do desperate shit. They get guys that nobody wants, like Jimmy Butler, and then you've got to deal with the bullshit, and there it goes again. And now you're going to get a Giannis Antetokounmpo on the back end of his career, where the best of Giannis Antetokounmpo has happened already, dude. And the guy misses a lot of games. And so now you're going to commit to a guy that's probably going to want more money in another extension, which you're going to have to commit to. And now you're going to be tied to that salary for a long time. And that is not going to be a good salary that ages. I have no idea why the Miami Heat have no foresight. They have no vision anymore. And the worst part is they play this game scared. Meanwhile, they send their coach into every gunfight with a butter knife. So I'm not exactly sure what the hell is going on down there in Miami, but they lost it. They lost it. And whatever. I'm one of the few people that has the balls to actually say what's going on. Most of the media, they get suckered with all this shit, like they got suckered with Jimmy Butler and all that stuff. And I wasn't suckered by Butler from the get-go. From the get-go, I told everybody he'd never bring another star in, and he never brought another star in. People told me, I brought him on the show, oh, no, he'll be able to recruit a star. Well, he never recruited a star because he can't. Nobody wants to play with the guy. So you're going to have to acquire him like the Golden State Warriors did, because nobody is going to go where Jimmy Butler is because he's not good enough for that. So you maxed it, but you didn't know when to get off. They don't know when to get off, and they don't know when not to get on. And they brought in Kyle Lowry, and that was dumb, and that's not hindsight. They have no foresight whatsoever. And this Giannis Antetokounmpo thing, this is a bullshit trade. This is a trade that sets you back. What you're supposed to do is go trade what you have left, go get your first rounders, and restart your entire franchise. Suck it up. Deal with some bad years. If the fans respond, great. If they don't respond, so what, dude? Put your big boy pants on. The Mickey Arison, Nick Arison, and Pat Riley, they got no more big boy pants on. None whatsoever. They go safe route, and they're not willing to take any chances. And worst of all, they have zero confidence in their abilities to reset an entire franchise. That's sad. The Miami Heat play this game scared. That's why they're going with the Giannis Antetokounmpo move if they make it, because it's a safe move. But it's not a championship move. Who are you kidding, dude? Have you seen the West? Come on, bro. Who do you think Giannis is? Michael Jordan or something? You think he's Magic Johnson? You think he's like a couple of those greatest players that lift all ships? No, dude. It's not who he is. So I'm just let me see something a second, just out of curiosity. I do have time to check this a second. You know, I can actually check this. Let me see. Let's see where we at. Here we go. Well, let me just check something out, just for the hell of it. Let me check it out. Let me see what he does here. Here we go. Okay. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Just want to see what he does here. He pretty much averages 5 assists a game. 5 assists a game is basically what he averages. 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5. It's not like he's doing 10 assists a game and lifting everybody out there and all that. I mean, he's been a hell of a player. I don't believe you're going to get that player moving forward on a permanent basis. I think you're going to get a player that's going to be on and off, and he just wants his money. So if you want to become, the Dolphins, which is what you're turning into, then you go ahead and, turn into the Dolphins. But the Miami Heat, they're playing the game scared. They don't have confidence in their abilities anymore. That's sad, dude. We'll talk to Ira Winderman tomorrow about that. And that to me is because I'm just tired of the excuse of, because this is what writers will tell you. Well, the Arisons don't want to tear it down because they're afraid that people won't respond, and so you don't have the confidence in your abilities to turn it around and do what's right for the organization. So you'll do the fake shit, the stuff that really is not going to get you anywhere. And how you don't see that, that's kind of sad. I got to say, it's kind of sad. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. By the way, Welton Rayom, a proud sponsor of our program. We love talking about Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. Bankruptcy is sadly something that is growing by a ton right now because we are having a lot of issues economically. The economy's not doing well, okay? And a lot of people aren't doing well, and bankruptcy is up. Call Welton Rayom. This can happen to me. It can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. Do not be ashamed, okay? We all try to survive and keep our heads above water in this world, and sometimes we drown. But you need help. You need a life preserver. Welton Rayom, they're the ones who'll get those creditors off your back. 954-966-4646. If you suffer any damage to your home, your condo, your business, they do an exceptional job of defending you. We went through it. They crushed Progressive. They made them pay what the damage was. They didn't want to, because you know how these insurance companies, they love to collect your premium, but when they've got to come up with their responsibility, they fall short. Criminal defense, business owner claims, personal injury, they do it all, folks. 954-966-4646, and the consultation is free at Welt and Rayom. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin and Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana donation. And of course, you can always send in your questions, comments, insults there too at the same time. And we always appreciate it out there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dolphins end up getting bad news, unfortunately, as Anthony Weaver doesn't get the job for head coach. He ends up being the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, unfortunately. And the Arizona job goes to LaFleur. So Miami is not going to get the compensation. It's really weird that 10 jobs were available and 10 coaches were hired and none of them were black. It's kind of odd. It's sad, to be quite honest. Weaver, let me tell you where my biggest regret of this whole Weaver situation. This is the biggest regret I have. But we have a stupid ass owner. We have a miserable franchise that just doesn't know what to do. They're always just doing stupid things, and they never do what it takes to really win. And last year, this is in hindsight, okay? I rarely talk in hindsight. You should have fired McDaniel in week 3. But we have a dumbass owner that wanted to keep McDaniel throughout the whole year and wanted to keep him in the offseason because he went out and got himself 3 GMs from San Francisco. Nobody does that if you're not trying to go above and beyond trying to keep the stupid coach. So we know that Stephen Ross and his little son-in-law and all that, it's a clown show because obviously they both are, I mean, the son-in-law is in part of it, right? He wants to keep McDaniel too, right? And a smart owner, one that has foresight, things that Arison and now, well, we know Stephen Ross has never had in his life. You would have fired McDaniel after week 3. You had the 11 days to get ready, and you would have put Weaver in there for the next 14 to see what the hell he has, because you already know what you have in McDaniel. Now, Stephen Ross and Danny Silman don't know what they have in McDaniel because they couldn't find their assholes with a funnel. Okay? But those of us with a brain, we knew what McDaniel was. Well, maybe some of the writers also didn't know because, outside of, from what I remember now, last year when I wanted to fire McDaniel, I thought nobody was on board, and I mistakenly trashed everybody. Even said, I bet you don't even hear it on Dolphin site with Krabs, and I didn't know that Kyle Krabs was one of the guys that actually said, yeah, let's get rid of this idiot. Because I didn't think any writer had any balls to actually by that time last year to say, get rid of this guy already. The other guys came in after, and it took them forever, like after the fact, like when it's so freaking obvious. But Kyle Krabs apparently is the only one that's got any balls in the media, apparently. That he's the only one that was calling for McDaniel's head at the same time I was last year. So you should have put Weaver in for 14 games to just find out. If he can't do the job, whatever, bro, you move on and that's it. But then if you find out, he would be ahead of half. Because half had never been a head coach in the NFL. And Weaver's already been a defensive coordinator a couple times. So it's not like he's already been at that position that half has been in longer. So you would have had 14 games, we would have been able to see, and then all of a sudden, maybe better continuity moving forward. Now you're in the middle of destroying the whole thing because you have to. You have no choice. You're starting anew. But for me, the biggest regret, because I don't know what Weaver will be. And if he does become a good coach, we're all going to, because our assistant coaches that become interims or move on or something, those are the ones that end up having success. It's our head coaches that we hire. They're all a disaster. They all fail. Every head coach we hire fails and doesn't do anything moving on either. So not a big deal. But that to me is my biggest regret of the Miami Dolphins and the whole Weaver situation, that we didn't get an opportunity to see them actually use him in a different position to see if he can do the job. I'm not saying he can. Like, I don't know if these guys can do the job. I hope they can because I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm dying for somebody to get it right. Who isn't? Wow. That's breaking news. We're all dying for Dolphins coaches and front office to have success. Yeah. Yeah, we've been waiting for that for a while. I mean, but it's kind of sad, man. It really is. It is kind of sad what goes on. I'd love to enjoy better days, and I'm waiting for them. But wow, I'm going to be 60 this year, dude. It's crazy. I was a kid. First decade of my life is where I saw the Dolphin championships. So what's a 7-year-old know about a Dolphin championship? You know what I mean? You're watching it and, you know, but you don't really enjoy it like you would as an adult or even a teenager, you know? It's insane. I don't even know if I'll ever see one. Let's see what we got here. Lisa Rose in the house, raging. Did Lauryn Hill show up on time? Yeah, she was there on time. Obviously. Shocker. Luis Medina, Jermaine, Rosendo. Let's see. Ark. What's up, Ark? How you doing, my brother? What else? Mighty chilly in Florida. Welcome to Western New York. Yeah, I don't want anything that you guys got in Western New York, dude. Lisa sends me pictures all the time, and it's torturous. I don't even know how you people take it. Ty in the Bronx. Julian is in there. What's your thoughts on the connection between Bitcoin and Epstein? I don't know what that means. What connection? What does that mean? Did he own Bitcoin? What fucking stupid question are you asking? Bitcoin is? What does that have to do with Epstein, dude? I don't know. Rob, what day? Tomorrow I'm at Hialeah, brother. Tomorrow. Marlins fans, Giannis will tear his Achilles tendon with the Miami Heat. I mean, he's going to be a sack of injuries with the Miami Heat. It's just the dumbest move in the world. They just do dumb move after dumb move. I'm really shocked at how inept they are. Okay? It's really shocking. And now that I really get a sense like, wow, you're scared. You people are scared. You do the safe bullshit because you have no balls to actually go out and do what you're supposed to do. Sad, dude. The amount of missed opportunity the Heat have had is downright shameless. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing, really. They are so inept. It's shameful. Honestly, I don't think he's going to come here and they'll get outbid like they always do. Unfortunately, we as fans have to wait until Pat retires and the owner sells. Well, that's not happening. Nick is taking over. You're not getting a new owner for the Heat. You're not getting a new owner for the Dolphins, dude. Stop with that shit. They're not selling. Those things are money pits, bro. Not money pits. They're money banks. They just print. You know. Daniel says QAM talked nonstop about the Heat trade like it's going to bring another ring. Well, I mean, that's what they do. They at QAM, the guys, they don't really, go out on a limb on anything. They go on the safe route and then they play that game for fans, and it's safe, dude. Oh, we want Giannis. It's going to be exciting. Oh, we didn't get him. Oh, it didn't work out. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of balls to just go out there and say, yeah, no, it's great that Jimmy Butler made it to the second finals. It's time to unload him now. None of those people in QM are going to say that because they're going to play the stupid little lazy game that you do as fans. You know what I mean? It's just kind of way we get Ndamukong Suh and we got silly guys on QM. Oh, Ndamukong Suh is going to make our defense great. No, it's not. It's just like stupid shit, but it's harmless for fans because a lot of fans are saying the same silly shit. So then you're all wrong, and you commiserate and talk about how you're wrong and all that together, and it's harmless. It's harmless radio. That's what you get there. You get harmless radio because they don't want to offend anybody. You know what I mean? Are any of them going to say that Riley and Harrison just, they're inept? Are they going to say that? Do they? Of course not, dude. But it's fucking obvious they're inept. I mean, look at all the dumbest decisions that they've done the last 10 years. They're as inept as it gets nowadays. They're as big a joke as the Dolphins. The only problem is they've got Spo, who hides everything and makes it better than what it is. So you're always going to get that fluff shit at QAM. That's just kind of the way it goes, dude. You know? Tyler Hero sucks. Yes, he does. Always hurt. Again, there's another guy. The year he was healthy, get rid of him. Get rid of him. What do you hear? Oh, no, he might have turned the corner and all that. And then they fall for the banana in the tailpipe again. That's what you'll get. And the Heat, suckers. They don't see what a lot of us saw with Tyler Hero. Get rid of him. No, they hung on to him. Zero foresight, bro. Zero foresight. And now you're going to do it. Now you're rumored to do this stupid ass move. Wow. It's really amazing. Yeah, Bam has been very mid. I had to fight everybody on Super Role Player. Oh, no, O's out of line, all this, that. Now, guess what? Bow at the altar, bitch. Bow at the altar, bitch. True Finn fan, how old is Giannis again? I agree on tearing the team down and starting fresh. Giannis doesn't make us a title contender. I think he's at 30 now. Let's see. I will tell you, even though it's better for you to look it up because I'm on the show. You people are out there, you know, hanging out. You could actually check it instead of me and make me work. He is 31 now, and he'll be 32 this year, December 6th. So next season, he'll be 32. It's the dumbest thing to trade for him now. It's such dumb shit. The guy was drafted in 2013. We're in 26. He's got, 12, 13 years of play. You don't trade for people like that at that point in their careers. You just don't, dude. Let's see what else. One-Eyed Jack, good evening, Big O and Sean. He's not here, but tomorrow he'll be here. Remember, buy those dips, baby. Loved it. I got the dip too. I got the dip. You gotta get a little chip here, a little chip there. I hear you, Big O. I was 2 when the Finns won their championship. You see what I'm saying, Havana Lou? It's like, you know. Captain Saki out in Tarpon Springs. Thank you, my brother, for tuning in. I appreciate you. Big Champ. Miami Heat have been out of touch since LeBron left. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%. They have been completely out of touch. And it's really, really sad to see what's happened to the Miami Heat and what they've turned into. You know? And it's sad because they have a coach that is absolutely amazing. And what he does every time is truly magical. Let me see what we got here. Let's start off with a little music here, a little B-Days. Let's start off with B. I will not have wrestlers because he didn't send me any wrestlers. I mean, the man is busy. He's in his anniversary. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta respect that. Remember, get your. I'm going to talk a little more Dolphins in a minute, but if you have any Dolphin questions, get them loaded here after the music segment, so we can talk a little bit more overall. But let's get to if this can actually pop up. Jesus. You know what? I'm actually going to also put that one out there. And then this one. There we go. All right. All right. You know what? Famous birthdays came up first before musicians. So we'll do that. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means They are no longer with us. All right. Writer James Joyce, born in 1882. Football Hall of Famer George Halas, born in 1895. Entrepreneur Howard Johnson, born in 1897. Writer Liz Smith, born in 1923. Comedian Tom Smothers, born in 1937. Musician Graham Nash, he born in 42. He is 84 today. Actor Blake Clark, born in 46. He's 80. Farrah Fawcett, born in 47. Rest in peace. Actor Jack McGee, born in 49. He's 77. Musician Ross Valerie with Journey, born in 49. He's 77. Model Christy Brinkley, born in 54. She's 72. Actor Michael T. Weiss, born in 62, 64. Musician Eva Cassidy, born in 63. Musician Robert DeLeo from the Stone Temple Pilots and Hollywood Vampires, born in 66. He is 60 today. Let's see who else. Musician Shakira, born in 77. She's 49. Actress Julia Fox, born in 90. She's 36. Actor Tom Blythe, born in 95. He's 31. Actress Florence Hunt, born in 2007. She is 19. All right. Now we go with musicians born on this date that I have not mentioned, since I mentioned a few there. Ben Mize from the Counting Crows, born in 71. John Spence, original member of No Doubt, born in 69. Let's see who else is celebrating. Rick Dufay played with Aerosmith back in 1980 and in 84, born in 52. Alan McKay, guitarist with Earth, Wind, and Fire, born in 48. Howard Bellamy from the Bellamy Brothers. Wow. Let your love flow like a bird on the wing and let your love flow. In 46, Mr. Bellamy was born. Who else? Celebrating Peter Macbeth, bassist with the Foundations, the soul band, born in 43. The great Graham Nash, born in 1942. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, of course. What else? And that is it. So we are done with famous people. We are done with musicians. Now we will go with music history. What happened today in music history, right? What happened today in music history? Let's start off. In 65, Elvis Presley's soundtrack LP, Rouseabout, hit number 1 on the charts. In 69, the Beatles began work on what would become the Let It Be album. Accompanying film, the project was filled with tension as the band quarreled over songs and the direction of the band. Both the film and the album were eventually released after the band broke up. The album included singles such as Across the Universe, Maggie May, Get Back to Where You Once Belong, Two of Us, and the title track, Let It Be, Let It Be, Let It Be. In 76, Creedence Clearwater Revival released the compilation album Chronicles, the 20 greatest hits. In 78, 2 months after quitting the band, Ozzy Osbourne rejoined Black Sabbath. In 81, David Lynch of the Platters, behind the 55 single Only You, died of cancer at the age of 51 in Long Beach, California. In 2008, with the talk of the Kinks reunion in the air, the band's guitarist Dave Davies took to the internet to share his feelings. It would be like a poor remake of Night of the Living Dead. So too bad I never got to see the Kinks, and I love the Kinks, dude. In 2009, according to official U.S. sales figures, AC/DC were the biggest sellers of 2008 with 3.4 million in sales. And by the way, Glenn Coynes of Parliament Funkadelic was also born today in 1954. And Tia Carrera, singer from Wayne's World actress, she is 59. So I don't know why that's on the list, but that's what happened today in music history. All right. Don't forget to visit our friends at Acura of Pembroke Pines. We love Larry Schlossberg and all the great people there at Acura Pembroke Pines. And right now, folks, you can get the TLX Tech 2025 model, $389 a month for 3.9% financing. The 2025 RDX, my wife has been driving it every day for 16 years, very durable, 16 years. $369 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ADX, $239 a month, 1.9% financing for 60 months. And the Integra, this is a ridiculous, $239 a month also, 2.9% financing for the 2026. Okay, the ADX for $239 is the 2025, which is the new model that they just added to the line. And 2025, I believe, is either the second year of the model, I think. And that's at 1.9% financing. The Integra 2026 is at 2.9. That's pretty cool. There you go. Go visit our friends at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Finest dealership in the business, baby. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Bitcoin's at 78,741. All right. Don't forget, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Stephen Baker says Bitcoin Epstein thing is from the files missed recently dumped. It has been speculated that Epstein is Satoshi, or at least funded 75. Oh, God, yeah, whatever. It's so stupid. That guy's not smart enough to create Bitcoin. The good thing is the people that ask that are the ones that don't know jack shit about Bitcoin. Just like the idiots that come out and, Bitcoin is this. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. It's amazing to me how people talk about stuff that they have no idea about at all. Nothing. You know how many people they've said is Satoshi? Pompolinsky, who created Kaspa, and Kaspa is the only coin out there that's exactly like Bitcoin. No CEO, no pre-mine, no nothing. You wanna own Kaspa like Bitcoin, you better buy it or mine it. They're not giving it away. There's no airdrops, none of that shit. All right? And it's finite. There's only a certain set, except it's 29 billion instead of 21 million. I think Kaspa was made to be money eventually. This was going to happen. But it's just that there's just so much misinformation out there, and everybody in the media are stupid. ABC, NBC, CBS, nobody on a local channel, let me tell you, or national knows what the hell they're talking about with Bitcoin or crypto, because 95% of the world has not invested yet. Look how popular it is, and yet most of the world is not in it yet. So the dump that we had with gold is double the size of Bitcoin's market cap. It's like when people say, well, what if they figure out Bitcoin and they hack it? Well, before they hack Bitcoin, they're going to hack your banks, which have trillions more than ever in Bitcoin. Before they do that, they'll hack your 401ks, which are a lot easier than Bitcoin. 1,000 times easier to hack your 401ks and your banks, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that, but all that stuff that you do every day, your credit cards, everything is way easier to hack. And there's trillions more there than there is at Bitcoin. You know, it's like people say stupid shit and they don't actually think. It's like, get educated, understand what's really going on. And that's the problem. There's a lack of education. So look at Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor today bought 75 million in Bitcoin. He bought it at 87,000 a coin when it's at 77, because he buys it in the over the counter. He doesn't buy it at Coinbase or crypto.com. When that happens, Bitcoin's going to go to hundreds of thousands of dollars, because there will be the Bitcoin's going to run out completely. On the OTC, which is over the counter, they're buying it from an OG that bought Bitcoin early at $10 or 100 or 1,000, and they have a whole bunch and they're selling it to somebody else, and they determine the price. And Saylor bought each of those coins at $10,000 over the price because he doesn't give a shit because he knows where it's going. But, that's fine. There's a lot of people that aren't invested. They don't understand, and they get kind of trapped up in this whole thing. So it's a shame, but, that's kind of what it is. And that's why there's a lot of stupid shit that gets thrown out there, and people fall for it because they know nothing about it, unfortunately. Let's see what else. Kyle Krabs is a very fiery and passionate fan. His post-game show after losses are very emotional. I give him credit. I didn't know he was, because I stopped watching because last season I knew it was like a dead season and I just didn't care anymore, to be quite honest. I'll do my stuff. I'll see what I see and then call it. I don't need to see what else is going on because nothing was going to go on. And I actually knew that. Well, everybody else didn't, apparently. So it's just one of those things. But yeah. What else? And he's a good dude. Kyle's also a very good dude. Good people, man. What else? Jules says, I don't need a pet rock. Yep. Pet rock that goes from 8 digits behind a penny to where it's at now. Yeah. Tell me what asset has done that. Like I said, a lot of people say stupid shit. You know what I mean? It costs $71,000 to $74,000 of energy to create a Bitcoin. It's money with value. Your money, our money, the dollars, they have no value. It's just printed. And printed to kingdom come, like the orange man just printed an extra $2.5 trillion in his first year. He added to our deficit. So that waters down our dollar. That's where your inflation all comes from all these presidents printing. All of them. Every single, from 2001. So, you can say whatever you want, but apparently, see, the thing that changes, Jules, is that over the years, you'll buy more with Bitcoin. Over the years, you'll buy less with the dollar. But hey, bro, Jules, you probably failed math, so that's why you say stupid shit. What else? Corey says, you're a fake. Oh, man, that hurt my feelings. Jesus. He hurt my feelings. Ow. Ouch. Ouch. That hurts so much. Oh, wowsy, woo, woo. All right, what else do we have going on? Oh, so Justin Jefferson, he comes up with a gem because he warns us about what this season could have been. And most of us are going to look at it and say, no shit. And let me tell you something. It's funny because over time, you find out about why a franchise is what they are. Like the Dolphins used to be an elite franchise, and now they're one of the garbage franchises in the NFL, and you see why, right? They rarely ever make the playoffs. They haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. I mean, it's a garbage franchise. It was one of the elite franchises. So now you look at the Miami Heat. They were one of the elite franchises. Now they're a play-in team at best. They have no chance at winning anything because they have no stars anymore. So now they're a shell of what they used to be. And some teams they're not good, but they have their moments and they never capture it. And the Vikings are that team. Over the years, whether it's Joe Cap or the Tarkenton years or whatever it is, the Vikings will always fall short. Decade in, decade out. It doesn't matter if it's Kirk Cousins. It doesn't matter who. They're going to choke in the end. That's who the Vikings have been. And obviously the Sam Darnold decision is one where I wasn't a J.J. McCarthy fan, but I'm not a Sam Darnold guy. But he played so well for them, and they took the chance on, no, let's go with McCarthy. And we found out that the GM is the one that said, no, get out of here. And that the head coach was like, yo, he's not ready yet. This is not going to work. And so they pushed it and it failed. and they failed. And guess what? They're also failing. They're failing because their window is closing. Because they had the kind of team that could win a Super Bowl, but they needed the quarterback. And Sam Darnold would have played like that this year, and the Vikings would have been right in the middle of the mix. It's interesting because he goes, everyone knows the difficulty of the quarterback position this year, how we were dealt it. But having a quarterback that already had a season under his belt with us, knew the plays, knew the playbook, knew the players, throwing to me, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, all these guys, I definitely feel like we would have done better. No shit, Justin. No shit. But you play for the Vikings, buddy. The Vikings are the team that knows how to screw everything up or choke in the big moment. It's definitely tough. It's tough to watch, Jefferson told the USA Today. Of course, I love that he's in the Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I want nothing but the best for him, especially the way his journey was at first, people doubting him and people not giving him the respect. Okay? Now they're giving him the respect. Now they're seeing that he's a top-tier quarterback in this league. Of course, selfishly, I wish that he had done that for us last year, but to see him blossom and bounce back right after the last year and make it this year, I'm happy for him, and I hope he wins. I'm rooting for Seattle, and I think Seattle's going to win. I'm rooting for him. And it's sad for the Vikings and their fans because the window's closing on this team, and they don't have a quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do if they acquire one. You know, I wouldn't trade for Tua because you have to play in bad weather when you're up north, not in their building, but in other places. So I don't think that would be a good idea. I told you already a while back, it was Atlanta. You know, the video is old. It's back there. You can find it. What does it remind you of with the Vikings? Huh? And not the Dolphins, because the Dolphins are never really good, but they are inept like the Vikings in some decisions that they make, i.e. the Weaver one that we just talked about earlier on the show. How are the Bills, dude? Since the AFL, the NFL Bills, they're a bunch of chokers. The window's closing on them now again. And now they got to try to reopen it, but you're already paying your quarterback a whole bunch of money. So it gets a little bit more difficult now to get over the hump for the Buffalo Bills. Okay? So the Buffalo Bills is another team that when they're in that moment or whatever, they find a way to screw everything up every single year. Every single year they find a way to screw it up, just like the Vikings. And they've had some pretty good teams over the years because those 90s teams those are some of the best NFL teams I have ever seen in my life. They're better than a lot of the teams that have won Super Bowls, but the Bengals, the Vikings, the Bills, the Bengals, they had their moment with Ken Anderson and they lost. They had their moment with Boomer Esiason and they lost. They had their moment with Joe Burrow and they lost. It's so interesting when you think about it. When I saw this story about Justin Jefferson and the Vikings, and it's like they have these moments that you and I never experienced with the Dolphins. Never. You have to go to the 70s to experience what the Buffalo Bills have had now lately with the Bills, or 80s. Or if you want to go to the 90s, you have to go to the 70s. The Vikings, as good as they've had, like last year, winning 13, 14 games. When was the last time the Dolphins did that, dude? Like, when was it that they looked like that? In forever. And the Vikings have been to 4 Super Bowls and lost them all. And whenever they're in a big moment, they lose it. And Cincinnati, they don't have like overall a ton of success, but they do get to the pinnacle like every generation or so. And you're like, holy shit, dude. And they always shit the bed and never come back because they cannot maintain the team. It's really interesting. When I saw that story of the Vikings and I started to think about it, I'm like, wow, man, these teams that are constantly doing the same shit over and over and over again. How crazy is that, dude? That's insane. Absolutely insane. Telling you. Anyway, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you smash the like button. You can send in your questions, comments, insults there on Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate you all out there as always. All right. The Terry Rozier stuff, we're going to find out if the Heat can actually tomorrow with Ira. We'll ask him because the NBA has not really cleared this thing up. And I wonder if the Heat, because if he can get the money, then they should be able to use it as a salary slot. So we'll see. And everybody will want that salary slot because they're going to open up 25 million next year or whatever the hell the number is, but it's somewhere around there. So they'll get to open that up. So that is huge for them. Karoon says, I used to get made fun of for being a Dolphins fan in 2006 in high school. There was a girl that I had a small crush on that remembered I was a fan decades later. Nothing to show for it. I know. That's how we are, dude. Nothing to show for it. But hopefully one day. Anyway, appreciate you all out there for tuning in. Those of you that hit the like button, thank you. If you made a donation, as always, we appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. All right, we'll be at Hialeah Park. All right, appreciate you all out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.